My name is Michael Amaral, and I'm a senior endangered species biologist with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. I'm here in Providence, Rhode Island today to ban the nestling peregrine falcons on top of the Bank of America building. Well, peregrine falcons are cliff nesting birds of prey. So normally they only occur in mountainous terrain, but to their advantage, they have also shown an adaptability to locate nest sites on really tall buildings and our major bridges. So Rhode Island may not have historically ever hosted nesting peregrine falcons because it's not known as a mountainous state. However, for approximately the last 8 years, they have nested right here in downtown Providence, and they also nest on a couple of Rhode Island's largest bridges. So we're here today to ban the nestlings and to collect any unhatched eggs. Each band is a unique number. It allows us to identify these birds as individuals. We can read those field-readable bands from a distance with a telescope. So once they leave this Providence nest site, we may get observations of them at Ninigret National Wildlife Refuge or out on Block Island. We may get observations of them as they migrate south toward Florida for the winter. We may hear about them 2 or 3 years from now when they are then adult birds setting up a nesting territory of their own somewhere. So we'll not only learn about their movements, but also their dispersal from their natal territory to their new breeding territory as an adult. And if they live to be 15 or 20 years old and we get the recovery of that band from a dead bird sometime in the future, we'll know how long they lived. So it gives us a lot of important information. Biologists like to know all of those kinds of things about like survival and dispersal and where they distribute themselves across the landscape. The nest box is installed about 10 feet up on one of those parapets on the exterior of the building, and it's usually right as soon as we go through the door onto that roofed area that one or more of the adult birds will recognize our presence. And the female at this particular location is probably second to none the most aggressive female in the New England peregrine population. So she typically will make several strafing runs. She'll fly right at your head, and anyone coming with me today is advised to wear a hard hat. She's going to be most interested in me when I climb up to grab her nestlings for the banding, but she could direct her anger at anybody. What we do usually only lasts about 10 or 15 minutes. It's harmless to the chicks. We take them down about 10 feet in level to a good workspace. We put a silver Fish and Wildlife Service band on one leg and this black over green color field readable band on the other leg, and then we go back up that little ladder and I tuck them back in the nest site and we're out of there. And in terms of the adult peregrine experience, they've defended aggressively, and even though we handled their young for a few minutes, we put them back in the nest. They're healthy, they're fine, we leave, and it's been a successful territorial defense for them. So even though we've been doing this every year for many years, that one-time disturbance hasn't prevented them from coming right back, nesting in the box again next year. So we know it's not that traumatic for them.